You were a busy man, busy summer indeed. You have a brand new show, The Man That Talks to Statues.
The Man That Talks to Statues.
Coming in September as part of Dublin Fringe. Tell us all about this.
We're out in the Civic in Tala, which is fantastic. To be able to get people to come out of the city and see a play out in Tala is just... It's a brilliant venue as it is, but I'm really happy to be out there. The Man Who Talks to Statues, it's essentially that Ron Seal wood stain kind of... It does exactly what it says on the tin. It is me talking to statues. And Phil Lynott's in it, Phil Lynott, I've been corrected, Richard Harris, Terry Wogan, a couple of other statues as well. So it's one of these things we did as a radio play last year, and we intend to do it maybe at some point as a TV show or a series, you know.
And it is a one-man show, though, so very different from being on set with like all the young offenders. How did you find that, and is it daunting just like with it all resting on your shoulders?
It is, it's just stringing it together. We're in rehearsals at the moment, and the director, Brian and Cormac, have been there from day one, and Emily No, our stage manager, has been great because it's not a boys' club. She's kind of reeling us in if we're ever inappropriate or anything. It's just fantastic because it's dealing with subjects, but it is funny as well, and it is a kind of a road trip. Poor old Darren goes on a Tinder date and he ends up crashing his father's car. Darryl.
That's unfortunate. Oh, Darryl, thank God.
Darryl, thank God, yeah. He ends up crashing his father's car and inadvertently ends up kind of on the lash in Limerick with Richard Harris playing racquetball around the streets of Limerick.
What could go wrong?
Exactly.
What could go wrong?
You know, but you're in good company. Richard Harris, Terry Wogan. The casting process was brilliant.
Yeah.
All of those characters, and then I get to play and be them for a little bit. You know?
I can imagine.
It's interesting. It's good fun.
Well, you mentioned there it started off as a radio play. So was that difficult, like the process of turning that into a live play then?
Well, in fairness, I had gone to this Cormac O'Connor, and he said, I think you have a radio play first, because I'm a little bit reluctant to write things down, so I wanted to record it to see what it sounded like, just to make things easier for me. And then we got Ruth Hayes on board to produce that, and we did it with News Talk, and the response back has been really good. It's accessible theatre is what we want to make. Donal, our producer, is interested in getting people in who normally don't go to the theatre. And I find the theatre sometimes a little bit elitist.
It can be a little bit off-putting.
Yeah, I can get intimidated by it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and if I get intimidated by it, I want to make shows for the lads that I worked for when I was painting and decorating. I want to make shows for people who like the young offenders, or my parents or my friends, or a younger audience as well. It doesn't need to be elitist. It can be accessible. So please come and see us, but more importantly, go and see the shows that are at the Fringe, because we're covering a wide variety of items. It's brilliant.
What I love about this is obviously you're starring in it, but you also wrote it as well. So it's kind of like creating your own vehicles. What was the inspiration behind this story? Because it is a little
There's
bit
a
off the
few,
wall.
but I'll keep the safe story.
Oh, go on.
I was in Limerick one evening, and I did end up talking to the statue of Richard Harris. Now, he didn't talk back to me. But I did talk to him.
So we don't need to worry just yet.
No, I was actually doing a play at the time, and I was like, look, Richard, give me a sign that I'm doing okay. And a couple of days later, I won an award. So I take that as the sign. But I actually saw his son last year, and I was like, will I go up and say it to him? And then I was somewhat reluctant, and I just left it off. So I'm sure he'll hear about it at some stage. But it is very respectful to the people who were in the play, but it is my character's opinion of those people or those characters within the play. So legally, I think I'm safe enough.